Hi guys, today I will be sharing how to make mini reindeer cake. For the ingredients we need 60 grams of cake flour, 25 grams of Dutch processed cocoa powder, 30 grams of sugar, 25 grams of melted butter, 25 ml of milk, 1 teaspoon of coffee. We need half a teaspoon of vanilla and 5 egg yolks. To begin, we're going to combine the milk and the 1 teaspoon of instant coffee. Milk should be warm so the coffee is easier to dissolve. Set that aside. Combine the cake flour and the cocoa powder. Give this a quick mix and then we'll also set this aside. We're going to sift this later. Combine the sugar and the egg yolks. Give this a whisk. We can also add half a teaspoon of vanilla. Now we're going to continue whisking this for about a minute so we can incorporate some air into the egg yolks. Now we're going to add the milk coffee mixture. Continue mixing. Then add the melted butter. Once everything is well combined, we're ready to sift in the cake flour cocoa powder mixture. Then mix until everything is well combined. Now we will set this aside while we move on to the meringue. With the meringue, we need 5 egg whites, 70 grams of sugar, and 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar. So using an electric mixer, we're going to beat the egg whites. By the way, your oven should be preheated at 170 degrees Celsius. I added the cream of tartar into the egg whites. Keep on beating until it is very frothy. Then gradually add the sugar. We're going to whisk this until it reaches stiff peak stage. Just like this. Now we're going to combine the meringue into the chocolate batter in 3 additions using the folding method. And this is now ready. It's best to not over mix this batter or else the air from the meringue will just deflate. So now I'm going to transfer this into a Swiss roll pan lined with parchment paper. And now we're going to bake this in a preheated oven at 170 degrees Celsius for about 15 to 18 minutes or until when you insert the skewer in the middle and the skewer comes out clean. Now while the cake is baking, we're going to prepare our ganache. We're going to cover the cake with ganache. So this is 1 cup of cream and 250 grams of dark baking chocolate. So I'm going to melt this in the microwave using 15 seconds interval until the chocolate is fully melted. And this is what we're looking for. We will set this aside. Now we're going to move on to the filling. This is half a cup of cream, 50 grams of dark baking chocolate, and 1 tablespoon of sugar. So I'm just going to melt the chocolate in the microwave. Again, 15 seconds interval until the chocolate is melted. So the chocolate is now melted. The next process we're going to do is to whip the cream again. So add the sugar. If you're wanting to add vanilla, you can do so. So here I'm adding about 1/8 teaspoon of vanilla. But this is optional. So we're going to beat the cream until it reaches stiff peak stage. Just like this. Now we're going to fold in the melted chocolate to this. And we're going to mix this quickly so the chocolate don't set. Now we're going to set this aside while we move on to the next step. To decorate the reindeer, I'm going to use M&M's minis, only the red one, Wilton ice, and then this is pretzels. This is the most difficult thing to do here because you have to be careful not to break the pretzel. So I'm using a serrated knife or steak knife to do this process. See how it breaks? So you need to have extra pretzels. So the cake has baked and has cooled down a little bit. So I'm using a round circle cutter to cut my cake. The size of your cake depends on you. So just cut the cake into circles. And now we're going to add the filling that we made, the mousse. So we're going to use 2 layers of the sponge cake. And then sandwich the filling just like so. So here I'm putting the antlers in the middle of the cake, but later on I find it easier just to put the ganache first and then add the antlers at the end. And then I'm going to place this in the freezer for about 8 to 10 minutes. So now we're ready to put ganache into our cake. So I just put the cake into a spatula and then using a spoon, I'm just drizzling the ganache on top of the cake. Let the ganache drip down to the cake. Like I said, it's easier if you just remove the antlers and then place it back once you added the ganache. Add the ice. By the way, this is Wilton ice, and then the mini M&Ms. And this is my finished product. I put the reindeer into a cupcake liner and make sure to wait until the ganache is set before moving it, because once you try to move it when it's still messy, it's a little bit messy. Show you what it looks like when you cut the cake in half. This hasn't been in the refrigerator, so the ganache is still a little bit wet, but it will set. This is so good. I can guarantee that you're gonna love this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week. And have a happy holidays and a safe new year. Thank you, and I hope you like and subscribe to my channel. Bye!